Alright, y'all. So here I am, yet again, at the counting house, trying to rob this bitch for the 10th time. And this is the team comp that I normally run throughout Baldur's Gate 3, and let's see how long it takes for us to beat this many high-leveled, high-HP enemies. Alright? Spike growth. Let's go ahead and start it off. Boop. So we're gonna go ahead and spike growth the entrance there. Okay. We'll get off a few offhand attacks. Just cause. Had that sneak attack damage. We're not gonna use any special arrows because that'd be kind of cheating, right? Oh, he's dead. Got another action because of our Elixir of Bloodlust. Boom. Boom. Action Surge. Boom. Go and attack you now. Boom. No more attacks? Alright. Let's just go ahead and fall back. And for this guy, we're gonna have him Wall of Fire. All of this. Very good. Then he's going to fireball these. Oop. Very good. He's going to fireball again. Uh-huh. Boop. Alright. And he's done. We're gonna go ahead and make him fall back. So they're almost all dead. They're almost all dead. Make sure we turn heat convergence on. Alright. Our barbarian's turn. Start acting up. So we have sealed off the entrance with spike growth and wall of fire. They will not try to go in here, but if they do, let's go and throw some. Was that a critical miss? Are you serious? That's okay. That's all good. No worries. Boom. That's a hit. Let's do a frenzy throw here. Boop. He's dead. Action surge. Keep throwing it. Okay. Okay, we still got more throws, by the way. Okay, so in one turn we killed about 80% of the enemies, but we want to make sure we kill all of them. Also, I misplayed. I should have had my cleric go first, so I can give everyone bless by doing this. And I could use Crusader's Mantle, which gives everyone a 1d4 to their attacks. So I kind of misplayed there, but even with the misplay, we still killed most of the enemies. All right, let's go ahead and finish this fight off. Let's see what these the rest of these counting house people do. The entrance is again sealed off with fire and plants, so they cannot walk through this. But luckily the AI is very stupid in these games. All right. Now really the question is, who do I want to finish this fight with? First, I think what I want to do is do some more support stuff to just show you guys how much more support things that I can do. Melody, Shriek, and I think I want to go ahead and fly in there as well. Boop. To make sure they get that Shriek debuff. And for disrespect, let's go ahead and perform. What's a troll song? The Bard Dance. There we go. Okay. That is a must, by the way. You have to make sure you perform, or else it's then what's really the point? You know what I'm saying? And I think I want to finish it off with my Throw Barbarian, because I haven't really showcased my Throw Barbarian much. So let's go ahead and do that. Boop. Okay. We get the Crusader's Mantle buff. You know what I'm saying? Bink. Plenty of damage there. Critical miss. I don't know how that's happening. It is what it is, though. Okay. Target the other one. Boop. And this should end the fight. GG. There you go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I think how the best team comp should look in Baldur's Gate 3. Because every fight will end within 3 turns, including boss fights. Pretty much guaranteed. Alright, what the fuck going on with y'all, man? AoE back at you again with another Baldur's Gate 3 video build guide, and this time I'm finally going to show you guys the team comp that I think is best to make when you're just trying to beat Baldur's Gate 3 as easy as possible. Alright, and of course I only play on Tactician, so this can be used in Tactician, and if you find any other difficult mods, this can also be played as well. Alright, and here's a team layout. The team layout is pretty simple. We have the support tank, we have the dexterity bowman, we have the intelligence checker fire sorcerer, and of course we have our barbarian to wear all our medium armor. Alright, our support tank wears all the heavy armor, our dexterity bowman wears all the light armor, and our fire sorcerer wears all the clothing. So you can distribute the gear throughout the game pretty easily with this group. Alright, magic items go here, bow items go here, support items go here, and then your throw barbarian, the items are very easy to get by mid-game. The throw barbarian is probably the strongest build from Act 1 to Act 2, and then these other 3 builds really pop off. Alright? But one thing you're probably going to notice is none of these builds are melee. Yes, I'm sorry. However, I will say that this barbarian can definitely be a melee build. You can change it into a barbarian paladin build, a warlock paladin, or a sorcerer paladin. Basically any other paladin build would work here as a melee if you are the kind of person that really wants to fit, you know, the normal RPG theme, like for 4 parties, which is normally having a melee in your party with a two-handed great axe or a two-handed greatsword. Sure, you can this spot is definitely interchangeable, but in Baldur's Gate 3 and just D&D in general, just being a ranged character is just better because it's easier to hit your opponents. You could attack them from afar, and you could also dodge a lot of damage that you would normally take being a melee person. Because if you've tried playing melee in Baldur's Gate 3, you would know that you get hit a lot, and if you're not tanky, aka if you're not a barbarian, it's pretty tough. Okay, so that's why for my damage dealers, I made them all ranged characters pretty much, because it's just so much easier to play the game that way. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I'm gonna go over each build very briefly. All right, this is not a super serious, in-depth build guide like my normal Baldur's Gate 3 videos. I'm just gonna show you guys each character, why I use them, what's their purpose for, what their roles are, you know, their items and whatnot, their multi-class levels and all that kind of stuff. Okay, maybe some progression tips as well. But luckily, each and every single one of these builds, I do have a specific build guide on in my channel. So if you're curious on the fire sorcerer, or the bowman build, or the throw barbarian, or the support, you can all find that in my channel under the videos in that Baldur's Gate 3 playlist. All right, so with that being said, let's go and kick it off with the fire sorcerer. Okay, the fire sorcerer is a charisma based character. Okay, and for the abilities, I would recommend being proficient in the intelligence abilities, because this will be your character. Even though you're going to have low intelligence, you want to make sure you're proficient in intelligence stuff, because this will be that character making those intelligence checks, like Arcana, History, and Religion. And trust me, there are a lot of points in the game where making these checks are very important. For example, the Mirror of Loss. Okay, this is your normal sorcerer build, and the reason why we're going with sorcerer over the other spellcasters is because sorcerers, they are just the strongest spellcasters because of their sorcery points and their meta magics. All right, you can do a lot of burst damage, and you can also have enemies have disadvantage against your high level spells, right? And of course, everyone's sorcerers are infamous for their double, triple fireball turns. And with a combination of Wall of Fire and Fireball, your AoE / control of the battlefield will be really second to none. This is your AoE character. If you want to do AoE burst damage, this is your character to do it. All right. A lot of the fights end with the fire sorcerer, this character, putting down a wall of fire in like a doorway, as you just saw, or in line of a lot of enemies, and then putting down a bunch of other fireballs, and in a couple turns, this character can pretty much solo the battlefield, as you just saw from the intro of the video. Okay, and of course we're wearing spellcaster items: Birthright, Cloak of the Weave, Robe of the Weave. We're going with the heat build with the fire sorcerer, and of course make sure you're turning on heat convergence in the bottom right passives whenever you deal fire damage. It's very important, otherwise you're going to kill your character or break your concentration on your wall of fire or haste spells. Okay, Thermal Arcanic Gloves, Cinder Shoes, the Marco Heshkir, obviously, Ketheric Shield, and of course we're getting the shield proficiency from being a level 2 cleric. Alright, that's pretty much all we're being a cleric for. And you want that +2 spell save DC as well for your fireballs and your wall of fire. And of course we're using the super good Coruscation Callous Glow Ring. This is a great combination for damage spellcasters. There really isn't a better combination than these two. And of course we're using the Hellrider Longbow for that initiative bonus because we don't have that much dexterity on this character. And we want to make sure we're going first because a lot of the times this character is killing off at least 5 other enemy characters before they can even act. Okay, so that is the Fire Sorcerer. You deal fire damage. Alright, let me show the levels again. Level 8 Sorcerer, Level 2 Wizard for that Evocation, and of course Level 2 Cleric for that shield proficiency. But yeah, you want to get the Level 8 Sorcerer and pretty much grab all the damage spells. You know, Magic Missile, Burning Hands, Firebolt, Scorching Ray, Wall of Fire, Fireball, Haste. Those are the best spells that I would use, and every long rest I normally just convert all my level 2 spell slots into sorcery points, and that's why I have so many to use Quicken Magic on. Okay, so boom, that is the Fire Sorcerer. Next is the Bowman. This is actually Astarion. I use Disguise Self on Astarion after every long rest because you get a 1d4 bonus. It's like a super special ring. What's it called? It's called like Shapeshifter's Boon Ring or something like that. Where is it? Boom, and it's just a nice check. And the reason why is because this was my stealthy / pickpocket character. Okay, it is the Bowman. It is your dexterity character. So you make all those any locks you want to open. This is the character to do it with. And of course we are using double hand crossbows because that is arguably one of the best bow builds in the game. All right. What else does this character do? Oh yeah, and of course we wear all the light armor. Let me go and show you the armor that we're wearing. We are wearing Diadem. This works with being a ranger spellcaster because our wisdom modifier gets added to our attacks. And of course Cloak of Protection is the go-to for any build, but you can change this out for anything really. You can change this out for Cloak of Displacement. You could change this out for Shade Slayer Cloak for more crit if you wanted, Invis Cloak if you wanted to, or even the Cloak of Elemental Absorption. There's a lot of choices here, but the most consistent natural choice is the Cloak of Protection. And the Graceful Cloth, this is probably the most important item because this lets our dexterity be at 20 or above 20 even if you go to the Mirror of Loss. And also you get Cat's Grace, so now you have advantage on all your sleight of hand checks. So all your pickpocketing, all your opening locks and opening chests, boom, this chest unlocks all of that. It is not a light armor, but it is the best clothing for this Bowman build, I would say. And of course, we're wearing the Helldusk gloves for that 1-6 fire damage. We're wearing the evasive shoes for more AC. This is probably my one of the swishy characters, so that's why I gave it, defensive items like that. Knife of the Undermounted King, great stat stick. Rhapsody, the best stat stick, giving it a nice branding amulet just to make things vulnerable to piercing damage, which is what this build, the majority of this build does. Risky Ring for those advantage on the attack rolls to supplement Sharpshooter, and of course, Strange Conduit Ring because we're always concentrating on Hunter's Mark, or as you should be, and the Hellfire Hand Crossbow, and of course the Near Misser. The levels that I took for this build are level 5 Ranger for the extra attack we get from Ranger, and Spike Growth. Spike Growth is the spell that I would say this build casts the most of. Well, whenever there are 3, 4, 5 or more enemies, Spike Growth along with your Wall of Fire from your Fire Sorcerer is such a good combo. It's literally made for each other because all the enemies will be stuck in the Spike Growth, and then it's really easy to land fireballs and walls of fire once they're in the Spike Growth. So these characters damn near can 2v the whole of Baldur's Gate 2 or Baldur's Gate 3. These two characters can really do a lot of damage. They're definitely the main damage dealers that I would say in this party. Okay. The other levels that we take is a level 4 Rogue because we want to get that Thief. Level 4 Rogue Thief for the extra bonus action, for the extra offhand attack for our dual hand crossbows. And of course level 4 Rogue because we want that extra feat. And the feat that we choose is of course Sharpshooter plus an ASI improvement to get that max dex. And the last 3 levels are really up to you. I like going Fighter for that action surge, and I went with the Champion Ascendancy for Ascendancy. I'm playing Path of Exile. I went for the champion subclass because I wanted the improved critical, and we stacked their critical just a bit with our items here. You know what I'm saying? But you can go Battle Master too. Battle Master is actually better flat damage, so Battle Master can work as well. But I like simplicity, so I went with level 3 champion fighter. All right, and that is pretty much it for the Bowman character. Again, these two characters work so well with each other. It's freaking crazy. Let's go on and move on to Throw Barbarian. So this is a Throw Barbarian crit build. All right, we're using Deadshot and Saravox for that -2 to crit, and of course we are also a fighter champion. So now when we roll like a 16 or 17, we get that crit. We're a level 5 barbarian for the extra attack, and of course we're a frenzy barbarian for to get the enraged throw. All right, let me go ahead. We get enraged whenever you frenzy. You get enraged throw, and enraged throw means you could throw something on your as a bonus action. And of course the weapon that we throw is none other than the Lae'zel. Probably the best throwing weapon. The dwarven thrower is also very good, but the Lae'zel is easily made for throwing. Okay, it also does AoE damage, which would normally be a bad thing, but because Shadowheart's the only person that gets into AoE range, throwing the weapon is not. It is fine. Just be careful throwing this weapon because it can easily kill level 1 NPCs that you might want to keep alive, you know, in certain quests. So watch out when you throw this weapon, but once you get this weapon, it's super good. And before you get the Lae'zel, you're using the Returning Pike, which is good from Act 1 all the way to Act 3. Where the fuck is it? It's not here, but it's called... I don't know where it is. It's called the Returning Pike, and you get it in the Goblin Camp in Act 1, and you can use that all the way up until Act 3, right when you get this Lae'zel. Again, all these builds can be found in the channel. If you don't like this super brief summary that I'm doing, you could look for the specific build guides over there instead. But the other items that we use are the Sentinel Shield for that +3 initiative, all right? And of course, we're using Deadshot and Saravox for that crit. We're using Cloak of Displacement because it's another really good defensive cloak. We're using the Graceful Claw to get that +1 bonus to damage of throwing attacks. There's also other options here. If you want to be more tanky, you can wear the medium armor from the Grimforge or any of the medium armor. But for me, I like just burst damage. I like being glass cannon. And of course, these three characters are never really getting hit anyway, because one, they're killing before you get killed, and two, they're attacking from far away. So these characters can be squishy. It doesn't matter. The only tanky character that you care about for this build is Shadowheart, and as you can see, it is very tanky, sitting at 26 AC and 135 HP, and have all the heals in the world, and she never dies. Okay. But yeah, we'll go over the other items. Gloves of uninhibited Kushigo, throwing damage. Boom. We have the crit amulet from the house of healing. The throwing ring, which you can get immediately in Act 1. One of the first vendors that you run into in the game. You can buy this for super cheap. And of course, the caustic band to just add that extra 2 acid damage. And again, these throwing items, most of these items can be found in Act 1 and in Act 2. So this build can pop off really early, and it's probably your highest damage dealer until your Fire Sorcerer gets Fireball and Wall of Fire, or until your Bowman gets Sharpshooter and higher dex. But early game, your damage dealer will be Karlach or your frenzy throwing barbarian. All right, so that is that build over there. Let's go and show the levels quick again. Level 5 barbarian, extra attack. Frenzy barbarian. Level 4 rogue, thief rogue again for the extra bonus action attack for an extra enraged throw. Okay, and of course level 3 fighter for that champion, just like the bowman, so we can get more crits. Simple, easy. All right, and the last build is the support tank. All right, very tanky, high AC, high HP, all the heals in the goddamn world, all the support spells, and all the utility spells like the ritual spells in the game as well. All right, and it has really good combos like Feigned Death and Sanctuary for those NPCs that you want to keep alive. You can cast Long Strider, you can cast Freedom of Movement every long rest. Misty Step, Dimension Door for mobility, Song of Rest for an extra short rest. You can even summon shit if you want with the frickin' Necromancy of Thigh. It comes with a cloak that comes with Crusader's Mantle and Revivify. It's just a really good build, and the items really make the build go online. I'm gonna show three items here that make this build go from pretty much 0 to hero. First is the Whispering Promise, which you can get from Valo. Okay, you can get from Valo. The first time you see Valo, I believe, is in Act 1 at the Druid Grove, at the Emerald Grove. When you talk to him, at the bottom left, you will see a trade option. Go into there and make sure you buy this amulet, buy this ring, or you can pickpocket it off of him, whatever you want to do. But this ring is easily the best ring for this build, because whenever you heal a creature, they gain Bless, and Bless gives a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws for 2 turns. And again, because this build is so burst damagey, the fights are ending within 2 turns anyway, okay? And of course, this combined with something like Mass Healing Word means you provide Bless for all your teammates. All right, and that also means you don't have to be concentrating on it, and instead you can concentrate on another spell such as Crusader's Mantle, which gives all your teammates 1d4 to their weapon attacks. And because we have 2 weapon attackers here, that is that is a huge buff to them. And you combine this, of course, with the Falar Alluve, which now you can give them 1d4 to their psychic weapon attacks. So now they have an extra 2d4 to their attacks. And of course, whenever you do a Mass Healing Word, not only does all your teammates get Bless, they also get Blade Ward, which pretty much makes them resistant to physical damage, okay? And of course, if somehow one of your teammates die, when you revive them, they get Death Ward, which means they get a cheat death. So this is a really good support character. You put them right into the front of the battlefield. They can concentrate on anything because they're wearing the Amulet of Greater Health, and they're wearing stuff like Ring of Protection, and of course the Helm of Baldur, the best tanky helmet in the game, the Helldusk armor, the best armor in the game. And you also want to make sure you wear these boots too. The Boots of Striding is actually one of the most important boots for this build, because one of the ways that you can break concentration in this game is becoming prone, and getting prone happens more often than not, okay? You can have a super high AC, you can have super high HP, even a high constitution, but if you get knocked prone, your concentration gets broken. So these boots prevent that from happening, which is great. Of course, you have to be concentrating on a spell first, but every fight we're concentrating on a spell, so this shouldn't be a problem. And of course, the ranged stat stick that I'm using is the Darkfire Sherpo, just to get that resistance to fire damage and the cold damage. And whenever you need to, it also comes with haste too. All right. So yeah, this character is really, really good for supporting the team. And not only that, this is also your social character. This character, even though it deals 0 damage, it's probably the most useful person in your party, because it is your social character. You're making all the charisma checks in the game with this character. And whenever your party isn't proficient in one skill, this character, because it's a bard, can do that for you. It comes with Bardic Inspiration, so now you give all your teammates a bonus to any attack roll, ability check, or saving throw that they make. This character also comes with Guidance, which is the same thing. It adds a bonus to any ability check. Okay, this is really a true support character. 0 damage, but has literally everything else that you would want in the game. All right. And as far as the levels that go, it is a level 1 cleric for that heavy armor proficiency, and it's a level 1 life cleric, so we get now a bonus, and like a small bonus to any heals that we do, which is actually pretty nice for a level 1 dip. And of course, we're taking the level 11 bard for the rest of the way to get that bardic inspiration as high as possible. And bards, just if you are a lower bard, you have access to so many different spells, and of course, all the spells that we take are either healing spells, utility spells, spells to help the team. Anything that these other characters don't have, this character does. And that's pretty much it. That is the team comp that I'd recommend beating the game with. I'd say the Fire Sorcerer, the Bowman, and the support tank are kind of needed, but the Throw Barbarian spot can definitely be interchangeable if you want to play a melee build instead. I would recommend playing a Barbarian/Paladin, a Warlock/Paladin, or a Sorcerer/Paladin. All right? The Warlock Paladin build can be found on my channel. I'm working on a Paladin/Sorcerer build in the works right now. That's probably going to be the next video build guide that I'm going to make, because the great thing about being a Paladin Sorcerer over a Warlock Paladin is you get level 6, you get high level spell slots, and high level spell slots mean higher level Divine Smites, bitch. And that does a lot of damage, okay? But other than that, yeah, that is the team comp that I roll with. Again, I've beat Baldur's Gate 3 on Tactician with a full team, with one character multiple times, so I know a thing or two about beating the game. And trust me, if you play the game with these characters from level 1 all the way to level 12, the game is, you don't even have to be paying attention half the time. It's really easy. And again, it's mainly because the combination of a lot of the fights end with your ranger casting Spike Growth, and your fire sorcerer casting fireball on top of the spike growth. That is how fights end most of the time. Otherwise, you're doing single target damage, and all three of these damage dealing characters have high single target damage. And of course, you have your support to go right behind you, giving everyone bless to this, so they hit more often, so they hit harder with Crusader's Mantle, with the Falar Alluve, and they become more tanky with reviving hands. Like seriously, this party makes the game so much easier when you're just trying to beat the game. All right, so if you're starting a new campaign with your friends, consider using this party. You guys will be having a very easy time, and of course, the easier time that you can have, the more fun that you can play around with. Another build that I want to work on is low-key a double salami build, but I'm having trouble finding salami because I think I used it in my camp supplies. So if someone could let me know where I could find salami in Act 3, or if there's like a meat butcher, let me know. I kind of want to make a dual-wield salami build for the memes, but I also have an idea on how I could actually make it pretty damn strong as a dual wielder. Okay, other than that, that's pretty much it, man. Thanks y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. If you had the time, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, algorithm shit. All that really does matter for the YouTube analytics. Don't ask me. Ask the freaking ruthless internet world. It is what it is. But please, any of that really does help. And of course, I will see you on the next video build guide, whatever that's going to be. And I'm also looking for new games to play. So if you guys can suggestions that way, or some other video guides that you guys want to see, please put that down in the comments as well. Other than that, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next video guide for possibly Baldur's Gate 3. All right, peace.